You're listening to the Super League Pod. It's episode 110 of your favourite Rugby League podcast. And we've got all your favourites, feedback and shout-outs, news from around the world of Rugby League. We'll be looking back at round 23 of Super League and previewing the upcoming semi-finals in the Challenge Cup. So strap yourselves in, kids. It's going to be a belter. It's your podcast with your views, the Super League Pod. Okay, hello everyone, welcome along to Super League Pod, episode 110. As always, I'm Tom and I'm joined by Mark, my compatriot in the podcast studio. How's it going, Mark?
Hi Tom, yeah, I'm okay. How about yourself?
I'm alright.
Yeah.
Have you had a reasonable week? I say reasonable because I know it's coloured by what happened on Friday night.
Yeah, well,
apart from that, how was your week?
That aside, it's been pretty decent.
Good man.
Went out on the canoe for a bit on Saturday, went out for a run on Sunday, so getting the old exercise back up because I need to lose a bit of this belly. Did I tell you last time I saw your ex?
You fat bastard.
Did I tell you last time I saw your ex? She gave me a hug, leant away and said, "Whoa, what's that?"
She's a dick.
I know.
She's a dick, but it's only because she started fucking smashing CrossFit and it's turned her into a middle-aged PE teacher. So I wouldn't let her get over you too much, mate. She's only deflecting. Believe you me. She's still riddled with insecurity.
I'm aware.
Don't let her get in your head, mate. That's the best advice I could possibly give you.
I'm in my own head, mate.
Yeah, there you go.
How about you? What have you been up to?
It's been a good week. It's been it's just quiet. I've got Erin for a protracted period of time, which is amazing. I've got for like 12 days out of the next 14 because Lindsay's away on holiday in Portugal for a few days. So it's awesome. I get to be a full-time dad and I love it. So it's been great fun. We'll talk about my new glasses now, shall we? Because obviously this is something that's going to come up at some point. But I do have new glasses. I really like them. Erin's first response was, "Daddy, you look funny." So from the mouth.
Erin's first response was similar to mine.
Yeah, exactly. So let's address. Do you think is it better? Which do you find more distracting? The fact I've got new glasses, or what happens when I sometimes shave my beard off?
The beard thing's more distracting.
Beard's more distracting.
Talking about your appearance on a podcast obviously is the best way to get listeners engaged.
Hello, new listeners. Yeah, I wear glasses, and now my new ones are a bit more sort of horn-rimmed and hipstery. So yeah, there you go. That's about it, really.
Allegations aimed at me could definitely be pushed back at the true hipster of the podcast. I
don't know. I have a photo lined up to tweet out of you if you ever upset me too badly. Have you stood on a certain bridge at a certain wedding, sir? So
I don't know how that pose happened.
That is literally the campest thing I've ever seen you do. And it's wonderful, and that's
I think it's about
as part of a
way down the list.
As part of a litany of camp things I've seen you do, but
way down the list.
It's certainly up there. But no, it's been a good week. I'm having a good time. So, have our listeners had a good week listening to the Super League Pod?
It seems that way. Nice segue. We'll go through. We've got a nice sampling of shout-outs and feedback this week. We'll start with Neil at Let's Go Johnsons. He said, "Only good thing about the bike being broke is I get to listen to Super League Pod on the way to work. Great show. Keep up the good work."
Nice one. Let's Go Johnsons isn't one I'm massively familiar with either. Has he been in touch before?
Been in and around the Twitter sphere.
Cool. Certainly
all the time that the show's been about, but not necessarily engaging with the show regularly. But it's great to have Neil engaging with the show.
Superb. Okay.
Dr. Bob Phillips, someone who does get in touch with the show regularly. This is the start of a run of things about the rant.
The rant.
Or the
Which
latest
one,
rant.
Mark?
Yeah.
Which
but
one?
Dr. Bob says, "I must write a blog post about non-pharmacological treatment of rage. I think it may be of significant value."
I'd find it quite valuable if you would write one about the pharmacological treatment of rage, Dr. Bob, just to be safe. Just to be, on the safe side of things.
So on that theme, Cutthroat Jake said, great podcast, loving the Wigan rant. And is this Iranu Ivavu player? Sounds great prospect. Can we have more info?
It really was just I don't know if I mentioned it after the show. I think I talked to you about it.
Yeah.
Iranu Ivavu is my Be a Pro player on Rugby League Live 3.
There you go. Dargani said, how much helium did you have to pump into your kitchen during his rant to get him to sound that squeaky? #Pyrant. I have an image of you... this is all to you. I have an image of you casually strapping him down while mopping his brow during those passionate rants.
It's the image you should have, really, Darren, is more kind of me sort of like maintaining intermittent eye contact, so at least I'm using my listening skills, but gradually kind of leaning away and just... nervous laughter as I wait for the table to get turned over.
Chris Macy, this was my favourite one. Chris Macy got in touch and said, I swear Mark's rants just get better by the week. I'm going to pause at that point and say, you've had rants too. It's not just me.
Yeah, but I think the difference is, I don't know, it just sounds funnier coming from you.
Yeah, probably. I've got a squeakier voice.
The great thing with you is that your
I've
rants...
got a funnier voice.
When you rant, though, you're not just going off cock on something. You've got, like, stats to mind.
Well, that's where...
Which is kind of even better, really, that you're able, even at the peak of rage, you're able to draw on, you know, the evidence that you have to back your rant up, which is great. I just tend to go off on something populist like, you know, Marwan Kukash or whatever. Well, it's quite easy to come off well with that.
This is where Chris pick up from Chris actually is, gonna have to start calling Mark the credible Hulk at this rate. Did you see the picture?
I saw that. It was amazing, yeah. And
as for our recent form in terms of the Broncos, he says they better have just eased up instead of gone all 2014. But just in case, I'll say after the facts game that I'm certainly excited/concerned, delete as applicable, for the Eights. Should cover my arse if they decide not to show up. Well, they did show up.
Excited then.
We'll get to that later on. The Credible Hulk. It was a picture of the Incredible Hulk. It said, "You won't like me when I'm angry, because I back it up with facts and figures."
Yeah, it was a great picture. We'll have to retweet it.
Dom Hodgson, we might have done already.
Did.
Dom Hodgson got in touch at the Hodge. He said, I listened to the show on 1.3 speed, and Mark's rant was so funny at that speed I had to pull over due to laughter.
To go back and try that.
Sarah McKenzie said, listening while baking cookies for end of term offerings, 41 done, still more time to listen to Mark's rants. Cutthroat Jake again, he said, this is off the topic of my rants now. Excluding Leeds this year, does anyone know the lowest position a team has ended up the following year after winning the Super League? This is one you picked up, Thomas.
Yes, yeah, it was, and I wish I had my notes with me now. It was Leeds again. I forget what year. I'll have to look back and find the original tweet, but there was Leeds and then 3 or 4 other teams.
Was it not Leeds when they finished 5th but then won the title?
Exactly,
anyway?
So yeah, Leeds finished 5th, asterisk, they still went on and won the title. But there's, I think Bradford and Wigan and Saints have all gone from winning the title to finishing 4th the following year as well.
Well, yeah.
So there's 5 or 6.
Since you've got an answer in on this one, I didn't have a look, but I reckon there's probably better examples further back in past, would you expect?
Yeah, I mean, I just went on Super League because
that's what the question was.
Got to the Super League table, but there'll be back in the darker days of rugby league, or the less professional days of rugby league, there probably will be bigger examples of that.
Rugby league's always been professional. So it's
less well funded.
Okay, Alan Walker, he said, good call on the Knights, not the Roses. Development is key. This was picking up from the ideas that we had from Scott Lister. Now, just to clarify, it's not for me, it wouldn't be an either or. In an ideal world, we would have less regular season fixtures and you would be able to fit more rep games in however they fell and however they came about. But yeah, I think for that end of season idea that Scott had, I think having a Knights game where they spread the game. We want to make it a stronger World Cup competition for 2021 as we can, and the only way we're going to do that is by bringing these developing nations more into the fold, so that by the time the tournament comes round they can supplement any heritage players with a stronger player base of their own creation.
Yeah. That's it. And Nigel Wood did talk. I mean, talking of strengthening things ahead of World Cups and what have you. Nigel Wood's already talked about bringing back mid-season internationals, and confirmed that that'll be happening next season as well. So hopefully, there's at least.
We're just scanning ahead the news to see if we mentioned it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
See, but that's what you do, Mark. But then you've called me out on it, so yes, I was.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sean. Bruiser 664, picking up on another thing that Scott had emailed us about last week, eligibility. He said he'd add to that if you move the country before a certain age, maybe 10, then you can represent them. So that'd just open it up a little bit more than what Scott's did, where he was basically, you pick a country that you're born in, or your dad's born in, your mum's born in, and that's you done.
I didn't really mind that, to be honest. I think that's... The more I thought about it, the more I still stand by kind of the version of what I agreed with Scott on this one. I do think that if you declare at a younger age for a certain side, then that should be a lot. And I think there are benefits for developing the international game if players do that. Where you look at people like, Robbie. I bang the Robbie Farah drum, but Robbie Farah, and
I think
it helps these. It adds players to these sides and it spreads the wealth a little bit. And alongside that, you can then encourage participation and involvement and excitement in the game in those countries, because look, we've got this quality player to build a squad around. And I just think maybe I'm being very idealistic, and probably so, but I kind of like that.
I think any country without a professional team should be a tier 2 country, and any country with a professional team in it will be a tier 1 country, and you can have a tier 1 and a tier 2 country, and that's it. That's how I'd have it, but there you go. And you wouldn't obviously be able to play for them in the same international programme.
That goes. I would say so.
Okay, Colin Rendy said, we've already covered a bit of Irano Uvavu, but he said, Irano Uvavu, shooting star of rugby league, is he a free agent? I'm sure a few teams could use him in the Super 8s.
Do you know what the thing is?
Paul Michael Craig got in touch. He said, Irano Uvavu, the bloke you said was born in Samoa, but mysteriously paid.
Do you know what? Do you know what? As soon as I listened back, I realised that I'd made a very slight misstep in just plucking things out of the air, because I was kind of freeballing a little bit when we were talking about it. And I heard it and I thought, do you know what? Some prick's going to pick up on this and get in touch. And you can always rely on an Aussie, can't you? So, nice work, Paul. Thank you very much for getting in touch. The good thing about Irano Uvavu, as much as it was a throwaway, is it did get me going back on YouTube and watching some old bits of Shooting Stars and just enjoying the mirthful hilarity of that programme.
My favourite was, when they do the quiz round at the end,
the quick fire.
Yeah. Let's see those fingers round.
Yeah.
The questions they come up with were like incredible, but I'll never ever forget my favourite one is true or false. Jeremy Irons.
It's so clever, wasn't it? I used to love it.
And like similar name word play like that. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, finishing off the chart.
Sorry, name a dog, and they go West Island Terrier. Sorry, no, I've got Alsatian.
It's
just oh, brilliant.
Right, finishing off the shout out and feedback. It's a hat trick in the section from Cutthroat Jake. It says, with all the doubt over lost. The serious question now, Tom. With all the doubt over lost or stripped balls in the tackle, I think we should allow the ball to be stripped. Then if the ball comes out, the penalty goes to the team whose half it is.
I don't know. I get his point. Look, it is hard sometimes at the speed of light and at the speed of a game to sometimes judge it, but I'm not sure that's... I think we just need to maybe empower the referees or improve their decision making a bit.
Every tackle on like the 45 metre line is just going to be a scramble to pull the ball. I think the problem is the players. It's not the referees. The referees have a tough job. The officials have a tough job. Yeah. They get it right more times than they get wrong, as the study that we talked about last week proved from Leeds Beckett University. They get it right more than they get wrong. But if the players were more honest, more often, and it's a creeping thing, not just in our sport, but in wider sport and in society, that people are more dishonest. Probably because you're given that win at all costs kind of mentality that I don't buy into. And I think that's a part of the problem. Now, it'll always be there, an element of that, and there's always going to be difficult ones that you can't really tell. But basically, if players stop trying to con penalties, like potentially the Josh Charnley one we talked about last week with Singleton, for example, he could have got a penalty if he hadn't then got up and tried to win a penalty. And stuff like that is what's causing a lot of the problems. And the odd one wrong, I think we can accept.
Because it's a play that people go for as well, isn't it? I mean, you do see these days a lot. I think it's growing. I feel like I see more now in that first contact. People are aiming for the ball carrying arm and trying to dislodge it and try and force a loose carry. And I think you tend to see people more. generally think
better balls would be an answer.
Well, yeah, that's it. It's the lacquer on the balls, isn't it? But I think maybe